right, so we got some casual geographic. Why this is the scariest predator of all time. Oh my God.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And looking at the thumbnail, we got an alligator, or is that a crocodile? I still don't know the difference.
I don't know. Yeah, what's the difference?
I don't know. All I know is they some big lizards looking like dragons, and they've been around for hundreds of years.
I bet you the Floridians gonna tell you everything about them that you need to know.
Oh yeah. Hey, shout out to Casual. Link to the original video down below.
Some animals very clearly got the middle finger from evolution.
Yes.
This is the portrait of privilege. There is no animal that's gotten more green lights from God than a bulletproof, sawtoothed, predatory sledgehammer with hyperintelligence, hardcore prowess, and the ability to climb steep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace is alive. Find out if you want to. Brumation's pretty much hibernation for reptiles. Basically a built-in power save mode for animals that already don't use much of it. But it means this is an apex predator that can survive a fate with Elsa. Because gators and the like can survive a winter in a frozen pond by turning their metabolism all the way down. Where they'll just stick their snouts in
Yeah,
water
we've heard about that. But isn't it crazy how they can turn their metabolism and say, you know what? I don't want to be hungry no more. I'm going to just go to sleep.
I'm going to starve today. Facts. Facts.
I'm gonna wait out this entire winter for 3, 4, 5 months, whatever, and not eat, bro. Yeah.
Leave the rest under the ice where it's actually warmer until fate decides to defrost them. Mind you, brumation's not sleep, and gators will move around on days when it's warmer. But it also means this ill-mannered iceberg can probably sense you walking past it, thanks to another superpower we'll get into later. Because you're gonna learn that not only is the mame gecko the most disrespectful addition to the food web, it is humanity's greatest predator. And whatever Oppenheimer felt when Hiroshima got hit with a massacre mushroom isn't even 1% of the regret felt by whoever unleashed an armor-plated equalizer onto Earth. Real quick, I'm gonna be saying crocodiles for most of this video, but a lot of this applies to crocodilians as a concept. I cannot express how much every part of a crocodile's body is designed to author your obituary.
Literally.
That includes its walnut-sized brain. Because crocodiles are intelligent on a level that should deeply disturb you.
But look at that. Don't that look like a dragon, bro? Like,
because shit, it is. It just don't got no wings. You got no wings, bro.
Okay, so I think every time, so the crocodiles are like the scary look. I mean, they're all kind of scary, but
yeah, they all chop. I ain't gonna lie.
They're all chop. This alligator doesn't give us a good image because I do want to see the difference though. But
yeah, I got to see the sizing difference because I can't really tell the size.
Intelligent on a level that should deeply disturb you. Both mugger crocodiles and American alligators will lure birds in by using sticks and twigs as bait to snatch their souls.
Wow. He like, if I can't see them, they can't see me.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Bro think he hiding or something. It's like you trying to hide behind like a lamppost and be like, oh, they can't see me. Bro. But I will say, they like themselves, they do look like a log, kind of.
They do look like a log. I'd probably be fooled. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Already be bad enough without the implication. The implication is that Satan's Snaggletooth stapler is able to take seasonality into account, since they're aware enough to pull this in the middle of nesting season. They're like Batman with prep time, except they've had 100 million years to plot. Another revelation is that the dinosaur time left behind will hunt as a pack, with scientists watching a group of crocs swimming in a circle around a shoal of fish, making the circle tighter and tighter until the fish were forced into a bait ball, just for the chomping boys to take turns cutting across the center of the circle to get their share of fish. There's another example where a massive saltwater crocodile scared a pig into running into a lagoon, where it was immediately jumped by 2 smaller crocs waiting. Now the implication there is somehow the giant salty knew exactly what direction to force the pig. Crocs have been doing this. It's just, as expert Vladimir Dene will tell you, it's incredibly difficult to study an animal that does its damage in the water. Because if you're in the water studying hunting crocodiles, chances are they're also studying you.
Of course.
Their thesis statement is your headstone engravement. Vlad has put in over
I was going to say that. Yeah, they definitely are studying you because one thing they have above every other animal, I guess, is experience because they've been around for hundreds, I don't know, he said millions of years, I don't know.
They've been around for a minute, you could just tell.
Yeah, so they've been doing this, bro. So they gonna learn.
You, and their thesis statement is your headstone engravement. Vlad has put in over 3,000 hours of watching crocs and has witnessed things like heavier croc driving fish to shore with smaller, more agile teammates hawking cornered fish. Now you might ask, how do the crocs share their victims? And honestly, that might be more unsettling than how they murk them.
God.
Chris Campbell was a contractor for the Okefenokee Wildlife Reserve, which meant over a decade of watching what a neighbor gator is capable of. One day he showed up to work with 60-something gators posted up by the boat dock. crocs. What he
hell
described
nah.
were two groups of gators, one in the semicircle formation driving fish to the shallows and using the boats to corner them, and the other group in the background resting, or more like waiting.
Wow.
Because whenever a gator from the hunting party caught a fish, he'd immediately retire to the waiting group, and one of the waiting crocs would sub in and take his place. This went on
bro,
for hours
they
until
taking
it got hot
turns
enough
for
for
it?
them to clock out and go their ways. But when Campbell went back the next morning, like clockwork, the morning crush was still there. Same time, same place, same agenda. That's a level of teamwork and foresight most people aren't willing to accept from a prehistoric snap trap. But your ignorance ain't bliss. In fact, it's what sustains you.
Yo, the eyeball.
I saw that. I was gonna call that out.
He was biting it so hard, the eyeball started gushing
Look
out.
at that. Oh. Nah,
Yo.
I just don't understand. Like, just so many of them, gang. Like,
Shoot, 100 get you gonna jump in that motherfucker?
honestly, yeah, I think 100 gifted, bro. I'll play a hopscotch or something. I'll bink, 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 bink. I'll cross the river.
Booba stomp them.
Yes, on their heads. It's like an obstacle course. Mr. Beast would probably just do some shit like this. Make it across $5 million. What?
Fact.
Same time, same place, same agenda. That's a level of teamwork and foresight most people aren't willing to accept from a prehistoric snap trap. But your ignorance ain't bliss. In fact, it's what sustains them. In many spots in Africa and Australia, people are warned never to get water from the same place more than once, and definitely not past twice. It's because crocodiles will memorize patterns and clock your daily routine, and getting too predictable around a professional camper means the croc will take note, just to ambush you the next chance they get. And they'll use very little energy to do it. It's also why studying them is like edging death. Choose the same spots repeatedly, and at best, the croc notices and avoids you with no regard for your research. And at worst, Senor Snappy studies your habits enough to put a halo around your head. That's a real PhD, which makes the crocodile a gift-wrapped FU to any creature of habit, and why the most dangerous kind of croc is actually an investigator. But if you watch this video, you could be the smartest thing missing a spine. You'll still be a living doormat if you don't have the hardware to back it up. And no animal has more disrespectful hardware than a motion-activated bear trap.
Yo. Oh, hell nah. Yo,
Okay, that's a skill issue. That
like, how you not see that though?
Yeah, that's a skill issue, gang. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Come on, bro.
Wait, is this an edit? Nah, Casual got his production up.
The crocodile is the most physically unfair predator on Earth because virtually every body part has been expressly designed to flatline you.
Wow, that looks
They
cool.
have the strongest recorded bite force of any animal at 3,700 pounds per square inch, making its jaw
I don't know how
a
much
steel
that is
trap
for real. How
capable
it
of
feel like.
damage on par with victims of war. But maturing's realizing it's the teeth as much as the jaw. Sharks have serrated teeth to slice through prey. Crocs have death cones designed to keep prey in its custody, meaning if a leather log bites you, you have the lowest chance of escape, which gets
And
worse
then if they
when
add the little
croc proceeds
twist?
to drown you. And with Crocs being able to hold their breath for up to 2 hours, trust that you'll pass tense long before he does. The only thing with those teeth is they're great for grabbing, useless for chewing. So they'll slam prey into chunks and swallow them whole, which leads to the most broken finishing move of any animal, the death roll. But Crocs also have the most acidic stomach of any animal. They can dissolve bones, horns, and hooves. But they're also bloodbenders with a heart that controls exactly where the blood goes, and a feeding croc will direct blood to its stomach, so the carbon dioxide.
Wait, did bro just eat another bro?
Did bro just eat another bro? Indeed he did. I ain't gonna lie.
Blood goes, and a feeding croc.
Yo, what's wrong with you, man?
Hey, bro, it's probably the food is scarce. They start eating each other. No cow.
Yeah, so this blood thing, I think, also applies at how they're able to stay underwater, even though they're frozen or whatever, like the frozen lake, because I guess they can even regulate the temperature of their body, or if a part gets too cold, then they send blood that way. And
but I didn't know they could do that manually though. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Bro, they're mad OP, bro.
To its stomach, the carbon dioxide in it only makes the acid more corrosive. And good luck fighting back when nature made an evolutionary aggro weapon borderline bulletproof.
True.
Crocodiles are covered in
scales.
osteoderms, and armor plating blocks the teeth of other animals from doing damage. Which is why there's more than one case of a croc tanking a gunshot, but the nasty work is what you can't see. The scales are said to manipulate water in a way that means a 20-foot problem doesn't make ripples. The osteoderms create countercurrents that cancel.
Wait, that's
you definitely not seeing that John coming. You can't see no ripple effect. You in the water, you cook. You
Oh, wait, that actually plays along with, because you know how they're at the bottom of the, and you really can't see them. Now you can't see them, and you can't see them coming.
The effect. Yeah. Yep.
Bro, this one I'm saying, bro.
Why? There's more than one case of a proc tanking a gunshot, but the nasty work is what you can't see.
Yeah.
The scales are said to manipulate water in a way that means a 20-foot problem doesn't.
That's tough.
I can't see nothing.
That's tough.
That joint look long as hell though. God damn.
Make ripples. The osteoderms create
thank you, soy milk,
that cancel out any disturbances made in the water. Basically cloaking technology, but in a steroid reptile. The same osteoderms can store heat for when it gets too cold and then release it.
Oh, my fault. Hey, bro. I don't know what's going on. Shit.
Osteoderms can the water, basically cloaking technology, but in a steroid reptile. The same osteoderms can store heat for when it gets too cold and then release it when it's too hot. So they also have a thermostat. There's one more trick under its skin, and it's that when crocs spend all that time underwater, lactic acid starts to build up in them. But because osteoderms are made of mineralized bones, the minerals will slightly dissolve if the acid gets too high, releasing carbonate and bicarbonate ions that neutralize the acid and raise the pH. Crocs are nature's mineral babies. Evolution gave them every cheat possible. And with salties growing up to 20 feet long and pressing the scales at often over 2,000 pounds, it's not like they needed more handouts. Especially when you realize, except for a tail that stores fat.
He jumped that? Yo, his feet is literally out the water, gang. He looked like a kangaroo just bouncing on his tail. How the hell?
Yo, bro got longer and longer the more he came out the water.
Handouts, especially when you realize, except for a tail that stores fat like a camel's hump, crocs are almost all muscle and look like a snake with legs with Kratos' knives for teeth. That tail is a lot stronger than you think, and the same one that can briefly airlift a plus-size predator would absolutely shatter your leg with a hit. There might not be anything more unsettling than crocodiles having probably the most advanced eyes of any animal. Eyes nature put right at the top of their heads, so snappy lads can plot on your life while cosplaying as a log. Eyes that have a protective nictating membrane, so even attacking one of their few weaknesses still requires two-factor authentication, especially since they can retract their eyeballs. And like dolphins, crocs can rest half their brain at a time, meaning the pride of Steve Irwin can sleep with one eye open. And studies show
you can't, bro, you can't see them coming. They're underwater for however long, it doesn't matter. They can regulate the temperature. They can close their eyes, be asleep, not asleep, hungry but not hungry.
Okay, wait, hold
on.
What
the fuck can you do against this, gang?
They can turn off half their brain. That means they slightly delayed. I mean, like slightly, sped. So then maybe you can outsmart them a little bit because they have half their brain working, not 100% their brain. You feel me? Or whatever the percent is.
Yeah, come on now. See, Lunar, that's spot. See? If we ever get stranded somewhere, I don't know, bro, we in water, I'm going to listen to what you got to say. Come on now.
Half their brain at a time, meaning the pride of Steve Irwin can sleep with one eye open. And studies show they're more likely to do that when they're around humans. Also, they have night vision because, of course, they do. That's not the most broken part of their vision. The phobia is a small part of the retina, but it's where vision is the sharpest, and it's what you use when you focus on a specific word on a page, or play Where's Waldo. And when you move your eyes to look at something, got him, that's you putting the image on your phobia. The problem is, what is a tiny dot for us is the shape of a skid mark in a crocodile. Having a fat phobia means nature's favorite predator can scan an entire shoreline without moving its head. If you still don't follow, get a book.
God
try
damn,
to read
he
the
got
entire page without
FOV
moving
of
your eyes
death.
and then realize how much of a middle finger this creature's existence is. Especially since the Titanic scale demon has cockroach levels of plot armor. Crocodiles can tank freezing cold, extreme heat, radiation, and can live in waters contaminated with heavy metals. And with the diet of a morph, they're resistant to nastiness like anthrax, cholera, and the most potent substance on Earth, botulism. They also have negligible senescence, meaning they don't really age the same way most animals do. It doesn't make them immortal, but it does mean that they never really stop growing and can easily pass 100.
Yo, okay, that nigga obese. Yeah. You can't tell me that nigga not eating too much. That nigga need to go on a diet. Whatever they do in the wintertime, he need to do that 2 times.
Oh, God, bro.
Them immortal, but it does mean that
look at this, bro, no, wait, it was the other one, no? The other one. Yeah. But this one, bro, you're on your way there, gang. But you big as hell. Let me see.
Never really stop growing and can easily pass 100. In fact,
this one, son, he ate people. What?
He ate people, fathered 10,000 babies, and just turned 124. God damn.
But while we Like, is that not concerning that he ate people? Like, why is he still alive?
I mean, sure, you next to him. What do you expect? You feel me? That's a damn dragon.
Okay, so he can eat people, right, Henry?
Okay.
But Harambe could swirl a kid around, not kill the kid, but gets taken out. That's kind of that's kind of racist.
Hey,
that Jamito, because Harambe a gorilla, and kind of racist.
Oh, there's a croc that's been alive since 1900.
That's racist, bro.
Like the year. Which means, other than a Greenland shark, I don't think there's another predator that can outlive a croc. And with them being nature's favorite, of course, some sick muppet made them resistant to cancer. And many believe it's thanks to their gut, because the gut microbiome is said to be a huge part of your health. And a crocodile's gut community manages to reverse cancer. An experiment found that their gut bacteria put the brakes on cancer and slowed the growth of cancer-causing cells.
Motherfucker, if they could do that, why don't we test them niggas and get a vaccine or whatever, antidote for cancer, my nigga? Them niggas knew cancer in their body. So how we take a freaking molecule follicle, and then, put it in this fucking system, and then we get a fucking cure, my nigga?
Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. What if we already did do that, and they're just using cancer as a way to just make money? Because that's another conspiracy theory out there, that we do have the cure to a lot of stuff.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised.
See, because when he said that, I thought of the same thing. Because it's cool how they could just reverse it and then cancel cancer. Like, nah, bro, we good.
Yes.
That reminded me of Terraformars, that anime where they took stuff and then they
roaches.
put and then they we took like kind of like superpowers from different animals and injected it in humans. Obviously, that's anime, duh. Ooh. But what if?
No, they probably do that for real though.
So I'm saying, like you said, like extract the shit they got in their gut and test it out. Like do something with it.
Yeah.
Feel me? They using the money for nothing, bro. Y'all scientific for what? Y'all some science. Y'all about to get me tight, bro. How you a scientist, you not think of this? Come on, bro. And you got two stupid ass YouTubers, bro, thinking about this. This is the type of shit I be talking about, bro. Give me the money, bro.
Reverse cancer. An experiment found that their gut bacteria put the brakes on cancer and slowed the growth of cancer-causing cells. Basically, it's a cancer to cancer. And now I understand why Buddy from Spider-Man crashed out. Especially since it turns out alligators and crocodiles can regenerate a lost tail.
Fire, nigga.
What the?
They even got regeneration, bro.
I mean, think about it. We got regeneration too, but we ain't regenerating a whole limb. Them niggas regenerated a whole tail, bro.
Yeah, we can regenerate little cuts and some skin and little scabs or something.
Yeah.
Nah, this is OP. The list goes on about their superpowers. It's too much already, bro.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's over with. Nope.
Spider-Man crashed out. Especially since it turns out alligators and crocodiles can regenerate a lost tail. Crocodilian blood also throws hands with bad bacteria and can dead diseases like salmonella and staph infections. This thing's built like a Dark Souls boss, and the fact that they can survive several acts of God yet get neutralized by a rubber band around the mouth proves nature has a sense of irony. But that's a lot better than getting folded by some of the diseases out there. And there's some stuff that Satan would second guess. Viewer discretion is advised. This time, I'm so serious. I'm not being cute. If you're queasy and not built for body horror, go here before I ruin your whole day. Your lack of action will be considered consent. I'm just saying.
I ain't
chance, you can still go back. Alright, this is on you. 3, 2, happy Halloween. I didn't even curse, I did gag a little. This is a deer suffering from papillomavirus, and it's usually not harmful unless you value mental health. But it can also cause Lovecraftian rabbits, with those affected seeming to grow tentacles. And if you live in Colorado, you've definitely seen these jackalopes popping up. And according to
I've seen them on Twitter.
Cutaneous quills are caused by the cottontail papillomavirus. This is the worst thing you can see while a mile high because of the altitude. We fear most what we can't understand, and sometimes it feels like fear is the only thing stories like these are selling, and how that story is told could be the difference between being informed and building a panic bunker expecting the end of the world. That's where Ground News comes in.
Yeah,
Ground News.
I knew it,
for sanity's sake, you better be informed.
I knew it.
Their app and website pulls from over 50,000 sources worldwide to give you context about each source's biases, reliability, and ownership.
Hey, bro. If you guys care about how a story is told, then go to Ground News, you know what I'm saying? Courtesy of Casual Geographic.
Get that motherfucker though.
See y'all tomorrow. Holla at your boy. Alright. Where we at? We right here.
But you'll never see a croc with something like that. It just wasn't enough. Nature gave an overachieving iguana the most broken build on the planet.
What the? Is going in the death roll?
Wait, I gotta go back because I don't know.
You'll never have to look at that deer again.
What did it?
But you'll never see a croc with something like that. It just wasn't enough. Nature gave an overachieving iguana the most broken build on the planet.
But
their abilities
that's
would
crazy.
get them
That's the
banned
death roll.
Death roll on his, but is that his own, like, what is this? A piece of chicken or something?
Some type of meat, but like to do that at a young age, damn, it's like natural to them.
True.
Game. Like I said, a crocodile on a stakeout can hold its breath for hours, and alligators can survive a 5-month cold plunge. Low metabolism means they live on power save mode, and it's also why a crocodile can go up to 2 years without eating. God bless the blow.
What?
2 years?
Crocodiles can wait out the times that would surely wipe out anything else, and now you see how an aggressive snout managed to reject the same death that found the dinosaurs. Crocs have been around since Saturn was single and still waiting on a ring, and the fact that they can just suspend animation by putting their life on layaway just proves that they really
Yo, you picked them up. Son said, yo, what the hell? Where am I going?
Nah, the guy in the crane, he's like, what the hell is that?
Well, let me examine this. He pulled it closer.
You are the teacher's
So what
pet
the
of
hell?
evolution. Also, crocodiles are more than capable of running fast enough to catch you off guard, or at least a human croc will, and this is the one time I wish it were AI. And whoever said you should run away from one in a zigzag is guilty of attempted murder. That is a myth that only ups the chance that you trip and go out like a horror movie. You could climb a tree, except they can do that too, because honestly, why not? They do everything
What if I just
else.
jump on his
Not
back?
only do they climb trees,
I was thinking that.
scientists, they do it regularly, with them
Yo,
finding
he's
grown-adults 10
wildin'.
feet in the trees and juveniles as high as 30. School taught you to be afraid of quicksand and giant Venus flytraps, yet somehow a drop gator was an unmentioned possibility. They can also climb fences of every kind.
Oh,
And
yeah,
again, you already know where
Floridians
this was
got
taken.
it.
This is flagrantly Floridian. I think now's a good time to mention crocodiles are more related to birds than to a turtle, snake, or a lizard, meaning
Yo, that's
we
how
just
Florida
barely
living.
missed out on this freak being able to fly. Flightlessness aside, another thing they can't do well is see underwater. Their aquavision is actually kind of mid. We're this far into this video and we finally found a weakness. But don't get too excited, because nature overcompensated with something outrageous. Those pits seasoning the crocodile are pressure sensors, and it's how the ultimate predator can clock the smallest vibrations in the water.
Oh my god. So although they can't see like visibly, they can see through like sonar or some shit.
Their teeth. So they basically Daredevil. Okay.
Oh yeah, they tough. Oh, what her name is from Avatar, bro? Are we serious right now, bro?
Vibrations in the water. It completely erases their lack of water vision. In fact, you could hogtie a croc blindfolded, throw it into a pool, and let a leaky faucet drip on the complete opposite side. The croc will still know exactly where the water's coming from, while you won't know where he is until you wake up at a Tupac concert. And when murkiness brings the water's visibility to zero, they'll T-pose, spreading their legs and fingers to maximize an already broken ability. And speaking of fingers, their jaws are more sensitive than yours. A dinosaur beast breathing like a Nosuke, but let the croc tell it. That's the only demon that's slaying. And I don't know if I said this already, but let's not just walk past the fact that they can regenerate their tails like a starfish.
I seen that video.
But the thing is, bears are berserker builds on steroids. Cats are four-legged fur ninjas, and orcas are the most cerebral serial murkers on the planet. What is it about this semi-aquatic bioweapon that makes me confidently call them the scariest predator on Earth? Oh, simple. They're a predator's predator. Is there a single predator that generates more anxiety in other predators? Even cheetahs aren't fast enough to cheat death.
The video. I was waiting for that. I wanted to mention this when it came to the water stuff, because he was like, "Don't go drink water twice on the same location." And then I thought of this video. Yeah, this cheetah, bro, the fastest animal, got caught, bro. That's tough.
Fast enough to cheat death in the hit range of the reptile. And the king of the jungle gets a severe vibe check when they're out of their element. Not to mention, crocodiles will savage sharks to the point where many believe bull sharks actively avoid them. The crocodile is the worst kind of predator, one with zero prejudice, which makes them a massive threat to the most successful predator.
Hell nah.
Here's the thing, when a lion,
that's a dummy.
tiger, or bear becomes a man-eater, it usually means something's wrong and they can't hunt their normal prey. Polar bears and Komodo dragons are famously less picky, but their home base is so remote that most people will never have to worry about them. Not only do crocodiles practice the worst kind of equality, they're basically everywhere. It's not that they actively go after humans.
What the?
Just that they genuinely don't care, which is why it's the crocodile that turns more humans into hashtags than any other large predator by a lot. And considering how and where they do it, that number could easily be higher. Even if you don't get killed by a crocodile, there's plenty of psychological damage that comes from being targeted by one. In 2003, two Australian teenagers spent 22 hours trapped in a tree while being stalked by a 13-foot crocodile below, and the entire night was the two keeping each other awake so they wouldn't fall in. To make it even worse, thanks to a flood, the waters kept rising, and the croc seemed to taunt the two by showing off the body of the third friend it had already caught. The two would be saved, but only by helicopter, because really, what else can you do in that situation? Well, they didn't get it as bad as Ryan. The New Zealander also got stalked by a croc almost as big as the 20-foot kayak he was traveling in and held captive on Governor Island, where the predator repeatedly made his presence known. 2 weeks with limited food and water and a 20-foot undertaker that would chase him every time he tried to leave. And Ryan was hanging on by only a thread by the time he was rescued. That's the horror of being hunted by the greatest sit-and-wait predator of all time. Because time is their greatest resource. You'll never have more of it than they do. And the fact that the big ones can go a year or more between meals and do their dirty work in murky water makes a man-eating crocodile the most difficult kind to deal with. Gustav was a Nile crocodile believed to be 20 feet long and well over 2,000 pounds. Believed because despite allegedly putting 300 people in past tense and being repeatedly shot, the serial killer croc was never officially caught. And despite reports of his death, because he was believed to have hatched in the 50s, there's a small but legitimate chance he's still out there, biding his time, just waiting for someone to wander close enough to become 50 Shades of Prey. You never see them until it's too late, and once you do, you might not see them for another year. It's a self-cloaking carnivorous convict that the Land Before Time left behind. This is the scariest predator on Earth. But of course, it's just an animal doing what comes naturally. They're not evil,
you don't want that smoke, gang.
Millions of years of character development and mass extinctions. It's not hard to see why Steve Irwin wrote so hard for them, and I wouldn't be doing Khaki Jesus justice if I convinced you to hate them. Nah, with them it's respect and a very healthy helping of fear, because moral of the story, always beware the old man in a game where men die young. And you always beware the landlord of Croc Country, because you'll never know when rent's due.
How about this? How about beware of any crocodile, alligator territory? I'm good off that.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all Floridians must be shitting bricks. Because, like, son, I would not want to be near one of them things, the way how he's explaining this video.
Bro, they'll be in your backyard or, like, randomly on the street or something, just chilling.
Like, for real. Imagine you coming out your house, and then it's dark. You just see a bunch of eyes glowing up in your front porch.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, my God. Anyways,
that was a fun video. I like that one. That was tough.
Yeah, it was. I ain't gonna lie to you. Anyways, man, if y'all like it, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like the goddamn.
Stupid. Oh, yeah, check out the personals, and that's it, bro. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Yeah.